Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, I want to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Singhadev, Gauranitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So, thank you very much for joining. Today's we're celebrating Sharad Purnima. It was actually full moon yesterday, and the full moon continues till about noon in the UK. So anyway, we celebrate Sharad Purnima today, and we will start with the Kartik Mas or month of Damodar tomorrow. So what is the significance of Sharad Purnima? In Bharat, it signifies the beginning of the autumn season. And in different parts of the country, different celebrations are held. There are prayers for good harvest, prosperity, and blessings from the Supreme Lord that controls all human accomplishments and ventures. Goddess Lakshmi descends on earth and showers blessings of prosperity and wealth to the ones who stay awake for that night. The moon is said to be the closest to the earth on Sharad Purnima and is said to have healing powers. This way, the rays of the moon heal our body and soul on this particular day. There is a tradition that kheer is offered to the Lord, like we discussed yesterday, and the gopis. The reason for this is that having kheer on the day of Sharad Purnima is widely appreciated, as it is regarded that the light of the moon drips nectar which contains various kinds of healing properties. So people prepare rich kheer and leave it in the moonlight for the whole night. And the next morning, the same energized kheer is distributed to all the family members as prasad. So this is very interesting. In Vrindavan, Sharad Purnima is one of the most exciting festivals known as Sri Krishna Sharadiya Rasa Yatra. To reciprocate, the gopis love Krishna performing the Ras Leela pastime on Sharad Purnima. To reciprocate the gopis' love, Krishna performed the Ras Leela pastime on Sharad Purnima. So he couldn't repay the debt is owed to the gopis because their love is so pure and they don't want anything back in return. It's very hard for Krishna to repay that debt. So he performed the Ras Leela on a pastime on Sharad Purnima. Prabhupada has said that the Ras Leela is the highest reciprocation of love that takes place in the spiritual world between Krishna and his most beloved associates of Vrindavan, the gopis. However, these are very confidential pastimes of the Lord. The Acharya's hearts break when they see this most spiritual activity taken as lusty activities by materialistic people. So some people are inclined to also participate in Ras Leela. They think they're Krishna and they want to enjoy with the ladies, but that is actually more lust rather than any kind of spiritual activity. Just ordinary material lust. Sukadeva Goswami, who was on the topmost level of renunciation, considered the Ras dance the utmost expression of divinity. What does that all mean? Well, Sukadeva Goswami, he was like a renunciate. He was like a sannyasi, a monk. And the Ras dance is the dance between Krishna and the gopis. So a monk would not generally get involved with dancing, especially when ladies are involved. So if Sukadeva Goswami considers the Ras dance as such an important activity, then it must be the utmost expression of divinity. Otherwise he would not get involved. So Raghunath Das, Sanatan, and Jiva Goswamis praise and worship the Ras Leela of Krishna in their books. Raghunath Das, although very wealthy with a very beautiful wife, left it all behind like a man leaves two behind. On the path of bhakti, how much we have surrendered to that degree, we can comprehend and realize Krishna's pastimes. By hearing Krishna's pastimes purely, everyone gets purified, but they are to be heard from the right source with the proper training. Sometimes people talk about the Ras dance, they may even try to perform the Ras dance, but actually, if we do not understand what that Ras dance is, that it is an expression of pure love between Krishna and the gopis, then we may get trapped in trying to satisfy our material lusty desires. And if we hear this Ras Leela from somebody who is materially orientated, who doesn't really understand the reason and the significance of the Ras dance, then we would also suffer. We won't understand. And we may also have some lusty desires there. So it's very important to hear from the right source with the proper training. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set the standard of not discussing intricate pastimes with the general public, but only with his most confidential associates, such as Swarup Damodar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would discuss with those who were very close to him, who were very advanced, who understood spirituality to its highest level. He wouldn't discuss these things in public. So if anybody is doing a Ras dance, Ras Leela pravachan, you have to be very, very careful. There were sweet breezes carried over the Yamuna of Malati, jasmine, and Malika flowers. Vrinda Devi and Yogmaya had arranged by their own personal love every possible beautiful feature to increase the pleasure of Krishna and his devotees. So Vrinda Devi is in charge of Vrindavan, and Yogamaya is in charge of everything in the spiritual world, actually. She's very, very powerful. So between them, they make the arrangements for the enjoyment of Krishna and the gopis. Krishna wanted to give the utmost ecstasy to his devotees on this night. Krishna went to the shore of the Yamuna at Vamsivat and played the fifth note on his flute. The sound was actually the love emanating from Krishna's heart. So this fifth note is very captivating, apparently. So, and this is from the Bhagavatam, the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, 10th canto. When Krishna called the gopis by sounding his flute, they very hurriedly rushed towards the spot of the Ras dance with the transcendental desire to satisfy Krishna, leaving their respective engagements, which were milking the cows or boiling the milk, breastfeeding their small babies, distributing food to the members of the family. So these were all the different things that they were doing, but they left everything. And even their faces were decorated hurriedly and were haphazardly finished. Some even put the lower part of their clothes on the upper part of their bodies and the upper part on the lower part. So it was a mad rush to hear Krishna's flute, especially this fifth note. So there's Krishna there, right in the corner. There's the gopis running mad to him. So when Krishna calls, you run. It's a nice lesson to learn from this pastime. The gopis came to Krishna, who was standing under a banyan tree, hoping that Krishna would accept them. Krishna told them it was nice that they had come, but why had they come? He was very cheeky. He asked them. Well, he played his flute that made them come. Now he's asking them, hey, why did you come? So a little bit more from the Bhagavatam. Oh, ladies of Vrindavan, Krishna said, you are very dear to me. I am very pleased that you have come here. What can I do for you? Very cheeky. What is the purpose of your coming here in the dead of night? It's the middle of the night, by the way. Kindly take your seats and let me know what I can do for you. The gopis said, hey, Krishna, you are very cruel. You should not talk like that. We are full full-fledged, surrendered souls. Please accept us. Of course, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can do whatever you like. So this is a very wonderful pastime. The lesson to learn from it. We can pray with our hearts, and the Lord will accept our prayers. A very nice lesson. He told them to go back home. The gopis' hearts were struck with sharp arrows when they heard Krishna's words. They stood drawing patterns in the sand with their toes. Their eyes welled up with tears. They told Krishna that they had left everything to please him and that he had stolen their hearts. They were fulfilling their duties as Krishna was in everyone's heart. So all their love was exclusively for him. The gopis are the topmost acharyas, teaching by their example the topmost instruction of abandoning all varieties of religion and surrendering unto Krishna. Krishna says, surrender and become my devotee, offer all homage to me, to him. And in this way, you will go back to him. So this is 1868 verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, being pleased with the gopis, went with them and walked through the forest with them. They came to the bank of the Yamuna, and each gopi was thinking that Krishna was only with him. This is the power of Krishna. His power to love is perfect and complete. Krishna can satisfy everyone to their heart's desire. So again, from the 10th canto, although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus has no desire that needs to be fulfilled because he is full with 6 opulences. He's also known as Atma Rama, self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything or anyone. But still, he wanted to fulfill the desires of the gopis. But he also wanted to enjoy the company of the gopis in the Ras dance. So this is when he was 8 years and 1 month. So again from the Bhagavatam, the Ras dance and Lord Krishna's association with the gopis appears like the ordinary mixing of boys and girls. It's not, of course, because Krishna expanded himself. As many gopis there were, Krishna expanded himself and the gopi was thinking, oh, Krishna is only with me. So no ordinary person can do that. The dancing of young boys and girls within the material world is in the kingdom of Mahamaya, or the external energy. That's Maya. The Ras dance of Krishna with the gopis is on the platform of Yogamaya. The difference is that on the Mahamaya platform, dances take place on the basis of sense gratification of lust, whereas the gopis' interaction with Krishna is on the spiritual platform of love. Lesson to learn. The pastimes of Krishna are completely spiritual. Very important lesson to learn, this one. Because Krishna's pastimes are unique. They may seem to be a little ordinary, but they're not. They're extraordinary pastimes. As we can see, Krishna is expanded. As many gopis there are, is Krishna's. Each gopi was thinking she is the most fortunate person in the world because Krishna was only with her. Krishna sensed this pride and he disappeared. So when we become proud, then we may lose the mercy of the Lord. This pride was not their pride. They were proud of Krishna. They were proud that Krishna was so merciful. Krishna wanted to teach the world that any devotee who has false pride, he abandons them. Krishna does not tolerate false pride. Humility attracts Krishna. Trinadapi sunichana tarorapi saisana amanina manadena kitanya sadari. And why does humility attract Krishna? Because Krishna is humble himself. Although he's a supreme Lord, he appears as a prince in a royal family, as Ram. He appears as a cowherd boy in Braj, in the home of Mother Yashoda. So he's very humble. He drives the chariot of Arjun during the battle of Kurukshetra. It's a low-class job. But Lord Krishna is humble. So he accepts the service. He accepts that he will do service for his devotees. We don't want him to serve us because we want to serve him. But he will try to serve his devotees, like he served Arjun as his charioteer. The gopis, however, soon began to feel very proud. So this is just reiterating what we just said, thinking themselves to be the most fortunate women in the universe, favored by Krishna. Lord Krishna, is known as Keshav, could immediately understand their pride caused by the great fortune of enjoying him personally. In order to show them his causeless mercy, he immediately disappeared from the scene, exhibiting his opulence of renunciation. So, lesson, we should be careful that we do not also become proud. Of course, the gopis are very special personalities. This is all part of the lila between them and Krishna. They're not really proud. The gopis are the top. Oh, we've done that. We've done all that. When Krishna disappeared, the gopis became mad in ecstasy, looking for him. They looked everywhere. They asked the trees, the birds, the creepers, and even Tulsi Devi if they had seen Krishna. They begged Mother Earth that she was so fortunate that Krishna's lotus footprint were always on her to tell them where had Krishna gone. Krishna had disappeared because of our pride. The gopis were aware of the reason for Krishna's sudden disappearance. They could understand that when they had been enjoying Krishna, they thought themselves to be the most fortunate women within the universe. And since they were feeling proud, Krishna disappeared to curb their pride. So, a lesson to learn: it is very important to understand when we have made a mistake and try to correct the mistake. The gopis began to search for him everywhere. After not finding him anywhere, they became afraid and almost mad after him. So this separation, this madness, is actually relished by the gopis, relished, because that strong attachment to Krishna manifests itself. And actually, they may look outside, externally unhappy, but internally, they're in ecstasy because they are with the Lord in a very deep, connected way, in separation. They were simply thinking of the pastimes of Krishna in great love and affection. The gopis therefore began to question the trees and the plants about Krishna. There were various types of big trees and small plants in the forest, and the gopis addressed them. Dear banyan tree, have you seen the son of Maharaj Nand pass this way, laughing and playing on his flute? He has stolen our hearts and gone away. If you have seen him, kindly inform us which way he has gone. Dear Ashoka tree, dear Nag flower tree, and Champak flower tree, have you seen the younger brother of Balaram pass this way? So, lesson to learn. We also have to search for Krishna with all our hearts. It's a very important thing to find Krishna. We may not have even a desire to find him, but somehow we have to find that desire. If we don't have that desire or greed to find him, he'll remain hidden. He won't come. Being absorbed in thought of him, they experienced loss of memory, and with dampened eyes, they began to see the very pastimes of Krishna. Being so attracted to Krishna, they imitated his dancing, his walking, his smiling, as if they themselves were Krishna. Due to Krishna's absence, they all became crazy. Each one of them told the other, she was Krishna himself. So this is part of the highest form of ecstasy, when you're in separation from Krishna, but you're thinking, you're absorbed so much in Krishna. Soon, all assembled together and chanted Krishna's name very loudly as they moved from one part of the forest to another, searching for him. They were so engrossed in separation that they started enacting Krishna's pastimes. So this is the ultimate ecstasy. This was the absorption in Krishna consciousness. We should be completely absorbed in satisfying Krishna in whatever service we are engaged in. Things should not be done mechanically. As they were searching, they went deep into the forest, where it was so dark that every moonbeam did not, even a moonbeam did not enter it. They saw Krishna's footprints, and this gave them hope. Then they saw two sets of footprints. The gopis realized that a gopi called Srimati Radharani was with Krishna. She loves Krishna the most, and that is why Krishna has left them. They finally saw Srimati Radharani sitting alone. Krishna also left her, as she had also become proud. But actually, the acharyas say that Radharani wanted the gopis to be together with Krishna. So she manifested a little pride because she's always waiting to serve even the gopis. So she wanted the gopis to become close to Krishna. So she developed a little pride. Krishna left her as well. They could not see anything, so they came back to the banks of the Yamuna and simply cried. There they began to sing the glories of Krishna. This is called Gopi Geet, which are beautiful prayers of intense separation. These prayers have been meditated upon by great devotees. This is given in a conversation between Satyavrat Muni in a conversation with Narad Muni, recorded in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the Gopi Geet, and hopefully during this month of Kartik, Karuna will give us the opportunity to hear these fantastic verses in the Bhagavatam. Finally, the gopis returned to the banks of the Yamuna, assembled there, and they're expecting that Krishna must return to them. They're simply engaged in chanting the glories of Krishna. So this is the Gopi Gita. So we won't do it today, but hopefully we'll do it another time. And these are the verses. At that time, we can also go through these different verses. It's wonderful. Okay. Krishna, being very pleased.
Prabhuji, are you going to explain about Gopi Git?
Yeah, we will do that. Not today.
Not today, because I know it's very long.
It's beautiful prayers.
Yeah. But okay, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Krishna, being very pleased, appeared before them. He had a garland of forest flowers and a yellow dhoti. He reciprocated the gopis' desire and satisfied them. The gopis asked Krishna why he had left them and how much they have been hurt. Krishna explained he had left them as he was their true well-wisher, and he wanted to intensify their loving devotion for him. So how does that happen? Because Krishna left, they become mad in separation. In that madness, they think of Krishna even more. They behave like Krishna, they play pastimes of Krishna. They become so absorbed in Krishna. They become one with Krishna. Not one in the sense that they merge with Krishna, but they become in consciousness one with Krishna. And that is the highest platform to be. He was willing to do anything for them. The gopis had real love for Krishna. They did not expect anything in return. He never abandons a sincere devotee. Krishna said he was so pleased with them for abandoning all worldly things for him. Even when he disappeared, he never stopped loving them. He said he can never pay off the debt of spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. So this is very powerful. Prabhupada mentions that Krishna is revealing his heart to his devotees. Krishna is showing that the love of his devotees is so priceless to him that even a lifetime of Brahma is not enough to repay the love of his devotees. That's why we have to love Krishna. Not that we want to make him a debtor, but because we want to please him. Krishna and the gopis dance to their heart's content. Prabhupada calls this a circular dance. Krishna was dancing with each of the gopis. He was playing his flute in the middle of the circle, and he was singing with each of the gopis. In this way, they danced the entire night. And that night was not 12 hours. To repay the gopis, Krishna made the length of that night the length of one night of Brahma, 4.3 billion years. That was one night. So Krishna controls his time. He can do anything. He made one night 4.3 billion years. This is just incredible. Krishna extended the night of the Ras dance to cover a great period of time, which lasted millions and millions. Well, we know how many billions. But the gopis could not understand that. How was that possible? Well, Krishna could show his mother the whole universe within his mouth. Lesson is Krishna can do anything for the pleasure of his devotees. He is the supreme controller. Most of the gopis in their previous lives were great sages, expert in the study of Vedas, and when Krishna appeared as Lord Ramachandra, they wanted to enjoy with him. But Lord Ramachandra had taken the vow of one wife. So Lord Ramachandra gave them the benediction that their desires would be fulfilled when he would appear as Krishna. Therefore, the desire of the gopis to enjoy the appearance of Lord Krishna was long cherished. When the night ended, Krishna sent them all home. Yogamaya allowed the families of the gopis to think that the gopis had been home all night. Even the gopis forgot about the night. Krishna had put a night of Brahma into the night of the human beings. So all residents were still there in the morning. This is Krishna's inconceivable potency. The Ras Leela represents unmotivated, uninterrupted, pure loving service to Krishna. The gopis worshipped goddess Katyayani for a whole month because they wanted Krishna as their husband. Krishna fulfilled this desire to some extent at Chirghat by stealing some of the gopis' clothes. In Banki Bihari temple, this is the only day that he owns a flute. The deities of some of the other temples are brought into the garden and the devotees sing bhajans all night and offer milk sweets. Sharad Purnima ki jai. So that's Sharad Purnima. Any questions? Any comments?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Pravin.
Really nice. Really enjoyed.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed. Only one question. I don't know.
Hmm.
When you said Raghunath Sanatan,
Huh.
is that right?
Yes.
And you said he left his wife.
Raghunath Das, he was married, but he had no interest in family life. And
So
the family married him because they wanted him to become interested in household life. But he had no interest. And one day, middle of the night, he just left.
he left. All right.
Yeah.
That's good because I didn't understand. And second
Mm.
thing, when you said this happened that Sarad Punam night, that Sarad Punam night, when Krishna was dancing with all the gopis, yeah, and gopis thought that Krishna is dancing with me.
Yeah, each we thought that.
Yeah, and you said it was 4.3 billion years.
Yes, yeah.
For whole night, it just carried on.
Yeah, 4.3 billion years squeezed into 12 hours.
Yeah, but still there is something running on my mind. That night, and then that was it. That was the last time they see each other.
Yes.
And then he went to the
Yes.
Dwarka.
Yes. On this earth, yes. On this earth, that was it.
So that night, Sarad Punam night, they played all night, gopis together. Gopis thought that Krishna was dancing with me.
Yes.
And that night,
Yes.
when the night finished, the gopis come back to home. Gopis forgot about it, and that was the last bit. And then he came to Dwarka.
That's it.
And you said that the gopis were looking for Krishna everywhere, like asking all the trees and everywhere. Have you seen Krishna? Have you seen Krishna?
Yeah.
But nobody knew where he was.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's really nice, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
But Prabhuji, we heard, I don't know, I heard that there in Vrindavan, some night, Ras Leela, people can heard about.
Yeah, there is Nidhuvan and Sevakunj.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
continued to take place.
yeah.
But you know, when Krishna was on in this world in 5,000 years ago, this was the one time that they did. But yeah, even today it happens.
So it's
in those
happened
days.
today as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Madhuvin, for reminding me. Very good. Okay, let's make a stop there. Radha Krishna Bhagwan ki jai,
Yes.
Sharad Purnima ki jai.